Cybertron Weekly is your central hub for everything Transformers.
Hey guys, Ultra Maximus back with another Transformers review. Today we're taking a look at another Combiner Wars figure, and it's going to be Defensor. So here we have all of the Protectobots in front of us, and we've got Rook, and we've got First Aid, Groove, Hotspot, Blades, and Streetwise, all of them together. Definitely looking cool, and of course they're going to form the mighty Defensor. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get them combined. Alright, and here we have, finally, Defensor assembled, and he's actually a very stable combiner. I really do like the figure. He works pretty well. I really like it, and he's got some variations that are very, very cool that you can do with this guy. The back of the bot's just kind of eh. I mean, we've got robot parts and everything there, but I mean, we don't look at the back of the box when we put them up on our shelves, do we? No, we look at them this way. Now, I will say there are some very minor gripes I have with the figure, and I think the biggest gripe is when you go to move one of these, you want to make sure to hold the shoulder like this when you move the arm, because these black clips here, they clip onto the blue parts of the bot, and when you go to move them, the whole shoulder bit will rotate and it will come off. I mean, it's not a big deal, you just have to reclip it, but just be aware of that when you move the arms. Articulation, obviously he has his shoulder here, he can move his arms out, he does have an elbow at the knees of the smaller bot, his hands can rotate, he's got the articulated thumb, he does have a swivel on his head. He's got knee joints, hip joints, and then his feet can kind of swivel as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's definitely cool. I'm liking the choices of the figures. The only thing, looking at it, Streetwise is very kind of creamy compared to the others, which, I mean, it kind of breaks up. We got the blue and the white over here, and you're supposed to have the flat facing out this way and the flat facing out that way, but I just don't like the way that looks. It just kind of, there's a big open, if you look, let me see if I can turn it here. This is the way this arm is supposed to be, but there's a great big open block, and I don't really care for that. And I just kind of leave it to the side so that we get more, you know, black and blue there. And then the same thing over here. If you turn it, it's just kind of a red patch. I like the little white stripe there, but you pose yours how you want to. Now, I will say for Groove here, I like how his arms clip here, and then he clips on to the middle. That really, really helps get him to clamp on there, which is really nice. I think he finishes he finishes the set off really, really well. Just kind of a nice crowning piece on the chest. But there's another way that you can use him, and I'll show that here in a little bit in the video. The other cool thing about this guy is, you know, it's kind of, I got red here, I got some blue here, and then white and white. And, you know, some people don't particularly care for that. You can actually mix this up and make it an all-white arm set, which I will show off here in a second. You can also put more red up here at the top, and then there's a way to get this configuration to look more G1-like, and I'll show that off as well. Alright, so let's do a flyby and get some close-up shots of Defensor here. We're going to bring him up to the camera. And as you can see, he looks really good. I like the face sculpt on this. I think they did a nice job. I like the blue eyes, the silver paint. And I think Groove looks really good as that chest plate there. I think that looks really nice. Of course, we have Blades over here as the arm, looking pretty cool. Rook as the other arm over here. Definitely cool. And those legs, I like the big bulky legs. I think that works out really, really well. And then, of course, we've got the two vehicles down here. And I leave this piece, the instructions say to fold that all the way back down, but I like to leave it up so we don't see the red kneecap on the bot. I think that just looks a little bit better, but I mean, you configure your Defensor the way that you want to. Overall, I think the aesthetic looks really, really well. So, like I said, he's got the Scramble City thing like all the others, but there are some different configurations where we can do an all-white limb mode. We'll show that off here in a second, and then we'll also show off where we can do more of a red motif up here, white motif down here, and then we'll do a mode where that we can actually get the G1 look out of this guy without having to get the Takara G1 Deluxe groove. So let's go ahead and take a look at the all-white limb mode. And here we have Defensor with the all-white limb mode. Thanks to T-Man987 for coming up with this idea. I saw that and I thought it was really, really rad. Basically, if you've got Alpha Bravo, not most Transformers collectors who've been doing the Combiner War stuff have him from the original Superion set. You can replace blades with this guy and then just, you know, make sure to turn Rook here around so that we've got the majority of the white facing there. And it really does show a big, big difference on the way this guy looks. I like it. I think it looks really, really cool. It kind of gives a uniformity to the figure, which is nice. Now, the one thing that T-Man did that was also very cool, he had a Prowl figure from the New Wave, and he replaced Streetwise with the Prowl figure because it's just a lot more bright white, kind of like these other parts versus the creamy kind of white here, the eggshell white, and that looked even better. So if you've got the Alpha Bravo and you've got the Prowl and you've got this guy, you can definitely come off with a nice, brilliant blue and white looking, kind of very police looking Defensor figure. And that's pretty damn cool. So let's go ahead and take a look at the red configuration where we've got more red up here and then we've got the white down at the bottom. And here we have Defensor in the kind of red and white. So what we want to do is switch out Rook with First Aid here. Basically, you know, we want to get that nice red stripe going on down the arm here to kind of go with blades. So we got the red and white here, the red and white over here, and then we got the two white legs down at the bottom. And I really, really do like this mode. This is probably my favorite mode for Defensor, and this is probably going to be how I keep him on the shelf. I like that symmetry of the red and the white. This one's all red with a little bit of white, and this one's kind of half and half. But it works really, really well. And, you know, I like that about the Scramble City style figures we've got going on with this set. So the final configuration that I want to show you is how to get this guy into a more G1 style mode if you, A, cannot spend the money to get the Takara Defensor that's got the Groove Deluxe figure, or, you know, you just don't want to do that. So here's another G1 style display option. So the first thing you're going to do is obviously take Groove off of Defensor's chest, and you're going to configure him kind of in this little hunch type mode. So you're just going to basically fold him up here, and you're going to bend him over this way. What you're going to do is actually put him on the kneecap of Rook here. So I'm going to swing this around, and then you're going to open up the knee. Now when you open up the knee, there are these little tabs right here that kind of connect up here. You're going to clamp Groove's hands over that and then bring it back up. So let me see if I can do this on camera. Relatively easy. So we're just going to put that hand there, and then we're going to put this hand here, and then we're going to lift up here like that, and then make sure he's down there, and there he is. Yeah, it's not too terribly bad. So we've got the motorcycle kind of hanging here, and if you want to put the windshield down a little, see if I can do this. There we go. So you can hide the face. it gives you kind of a G1 style look that I really, really do like. I saw this on Pew's channel, so shout out to him for this. He found it somewhere where another Transformers fan discovered that you could do that. So, I mean, it kind of bulks up that knee, but just not as bad as that one either. But if you want that G1 kind of look, and like I said, you can't afford or you just don't want to get the other Takara to get this deluxe groove, you can definitely do that. So I'll kind of show a close-up here. Yeah, so there it is. It's not too terribly bad. It looks kind of silly from the side, but from the front, I mean, it does not look bad at all, and it gives you that G1 aesthetic. So again, the options on this guy are really great, really fun, and definitely some of the more diverse from the other combiners that I've seen thus far. For comparison, here we have Defensor next to Superion, and I gotta say, I think I like Defensor a little bit better. He's been my favorite combiner thus far. I just like, this guy's a little bulkier, and he's more squared off than Superion. Superion's a little bit thinner, I think, in the chest, especially in the leg areas at the bottom. I like the great big bulky legs we got going on here with Defensor. He looks a little bit cooler to me. But they're definitely both very, very cool. I think Defensor's head is just a little bit higher than Superion's, but he's got these little antennae that kind of come up a little bit. Overall, they're approximately the same size as far as height, but there's a lot more bulk and a lot more plastic going on with Defensor. And here we have Defensor with Menasor. There's a lot of ors going on here, and I mean, they're looking pretty decent together. I'm liking this guy overall a little bit more than I am Menasor. A lot of people trash this figure. It's not that bad of a figure. It's not the best of the combiners, but you know, he's not too bad. I mean, he does look like a bad guy, and they scale up pretty well together. I think he's a little beefier than Superion is, and I think that matches off a little bit better with Defensor over here. And finally, here we have Defensor next to Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015 Megatronus. So this is the big 5-step changer, and actually these scale off pretty well. If you're going to make this guy, I mean, he's supposed to be one of the 13 primes, you might need a giant combiner to battle him, so that actually looks pretty decent as far as a big bad going up against Defensor here. I'm definitely digging that. So is Defensor a figure that you want in your Transformers collection? Well, if you're a Protectobots fan, absolutely. You're going to love this figure, I think. If you're a diehard G1ist, then you're probably going to want to get the Takara version that comes with Groove if you don't like the Rook figure, so that you can have Groove as a deluxe. That really doesn't bother me too much, since we can kind of get a G1 style look out of this figure set anyway. Just if you like the Combiner Wars, I think this is probably one of the better of the smaller combiners to have come out. I think Devastator is probably my favorite of the combiners, but of the 3 smallers that I've got so far, I think he's actually one of my favorites, and I'm not a big Protectobot fan. I just like the fact he's got enough bulk, he's stable, and the variations you can do with this guy. You know, they all have that kind of scramble city mode kind of vibe going on, where you can put and mix and match what you want. But this guy really takes it, and the differences show dramatically, and I really, really do appreciate that. So overall, I think this is a very good combiner. So there he is, Defensor from Transformers Combiner Wars.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.